Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Robert Blackman. Welcome to my kitchen table. This is where I usually have my little morning cup of coffee, go over my to-do list for today. And today I posted a picture that kind of prompted today's training. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Robert Blackman, been in network marketing for 37 years, age 56, so I started when I was really young. I've been a consultant to several different presidents, still a distributor. My wife Sharon and I, we own a lead generation company called Profit Leads. We're an advocate of all network marketing companies. We buy products from several different types of companies that we don't build. We build one primary at a time, and we build profit leads at the same time. That's what we do. And we do it all from the luxury of our home. So we're very blessed about all that. So today's training, it was really simple, because I posted up a picture. Hey guys, as you're coming on, welcome to everybody. I posted a picture today of my mom and my dad. They came up in my memories, the little memory spot on Facebook. And it was back from 1986. And it reminded me, both of my parents were entrepreneurs before they were network marketers. My dad had a printing company and my mom owned a beauty salon. And there's not, I don't know of any two professions besides bricklayers that work more hours and work harder than beauticians and also people who run a printing plant. My dad had 300 employees, went 3 shifts, 24 hours a day. Back in the day, he had a beeper. Just as soon as we sat down for dinner on a Friday night, it'd go off. Somebody would mess up, press 12, somebody didn't show up. There was a fight, there was police out there, there was, a water leak. Electrician called, said all the electricity's out. I mean, you name it, it happened. So at a young age, I would jump in the car with my dad and run down to the plant. My mom was also a beautician, so a lot of times my mom would pick me up and I'd go down and I'd sit under the hairdryer, and that's why I always blame that I'm bald today, because my mom would shampoo and condition my hair or get one of the girls to do it right after one of my baseball, basketball, or football practices and stick me underneath one of those hairdryers. So today, I believe, guys, stay away from those hair dryers. They'll make you go bald. But when I look back at that picture, 1986, let's see, I graduated high school in 80, so I would have been 24 years old. It was about that time that mom and dad started really getting into network marketing, and I was the one that kind of had the torch and was running with it. So it was interesting to be a young man and leading your parents. And when you have passion and you have belief in what you're doing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, when you want to do something, you'll do it. And when somebody tells you you can't do it, it's either going to make you fall flat on your back and quit, or it's going to inspire you to go out and say, you know what, I'm going to go do it anyway. And so through those years of working with my parents, it was interesting because they would always sit there and try to tell me what to do. But I'd already been in network marketing about 7 years before they had, and they had a really difficult time taking advice from me. There's a lesson here today, all right? They could not get past the fact that their son knew more than they did about network marketing. And this wasn't obviously conscious. It wasn't a conscious thing, I don't believe. At least for mom it was, and I think for dad it was. Yeah, there's no way you're going to tell. But for mom, it was more a subconscious issue that, well, how could he know more than we do? We're older than him. We both run separate businesses. So the lesson, there's a couple of lessons, and one of them I want to teach you today is when you run into professionals, people that run a regular traditional business, that have invested tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds and thousands of hours. My parents had microwaves, refrigerators, beds, showers down at their places of operation. That wasn't for their employees. That was for them. The old saying at my dad's printing plant, and when mom and dad got a plant together, they said that we can't wait for the employees to go home at 5 o'clock so we can get some work done. And that's the trap of traditional business. And I think that's why I have stuck with network marketing for so long, because I was down there with them, battling it out, and I saw firsthand, it didn't matter how hard you worked, traditional business in most cases is going to be a mountain you'll never climb. And it's usually because it's just you, your spouse, or one coworker, or one partner, or a lot of times it's just yourself. And it's impossible to overcome that mountain without a team. Okay, that's the other segue training today. And so the transition that my parents had a hard time with was, number one, not taking it as not being able to learn from their son, because I hadn't done what they'd done in traditional business, and they still hadn't made the equation, traditional business, network marketing. How could I work less hours in network marketing and make more money? There's no way, son, because we're working our butts off down here and we're barely paying our bills. So this has to be some kind of scheme. It has to be some kind of pyramid. It can never last, son. So please, I remember my dad, I'd get a check in and I'd show him the, well, who are these? So this is back in the day when they would send out a, what they called a green bar printout. If anybody is old school as me knows that. It was an old green bar printout. So we'd flip page after page and go through and say, well, who's this guy? And I go, I don't know who that is. Well, he bought $400 worth of products and you made 20 bucks on him. And I go, okay. He goes, well, let's give him a call. So my dad and I would call these people in our organization, and then I would say, hey, I'm Robert Blackman. They go, Robert, thanks for calling. We've been on all your conference calls. We love the products. My wife and I are really excited. And we'd hang up, and my dad would go, how do you do that? I go, that's the power of the vehicle, is that when you lead, people will follow. But you don't have to personally know each person. It's physically impossible, okay? So that was the number one problem that they had, is they had a hard time understanding how they could take lessons from their son because they were professionals. So you may run into the same issue as well too. Number two, the other big problem that they had is that they had a problem letting go, not having control of everything. They were used to being the first to open up the store and the last one to leave. I'm gonna say that again. They were used to being the first to open and the last to leave. They called pizza in for lunch. They would bring sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly, bologna, ham sandwiches. Mom would have casseroles and we'd be heating them up down in the microwaves because we were running printing presses. She was doing typesetting. I was proofreading. I was cutting business cards, envelopes, booklets. We had government contracts, so I was making sure there's 12 boxes to a book, cutting boxes down, taping them, labeling them correctly. It was a job, man. It was a tough job, but it paid our bills. So for some people, it's hard to let go of the reins and trust a business model that they've never been in. It's like getting in the car with a stranger. And we do it every day today now, Uber, right? I mean, when was the last time that you called an Uber and you got in the car that you didn't know the person and you were hoping and praying they're going to take you there? That's kind of network marketing. And that's kind of how my mom and dad felt back in the 1980s, because they go, and even though I could prove it to them, they just thought it was because they had trained me and I was so great that I was the exception. And I go, no, I'm not the exception or the rule. This is the model. And so unfortunately, as my parents got older, they really kind of took the route where mom went into her own deals, like a Mary Kay. What was the one that had the clothes? She did the clothes. Mom was great. She got older. She'd invite people over to the house. She'd do their hair. She had a shampoo booth in the house. She built one in. She'd do their hair. She'd put Mary Kay on them, and then she had clothes. So when somebody'd walk out, they'd spend $700, and she'd go, woo, And then Dad would go to the network marketing meetings, and he'd sell business cards. He'd sell envelopes. He would never build a downline because he just couldn't trust the process. He could only control the printing, so that's where his faith and his direction and his mindset went. And so as their son, I'm making multiple six figures, and I'm watching them, and there's nothing I can say or do to them to get them to change, to get them to open up. But I was so proud of them because they were doing something in network marketing. So that inspired me. So today's picture today, I wanted you to give you a little bit of background information on it. It's not just a picture of my parents doing network marketing. Man, it was, I wish back then that I would have had video, on my cell phone, that I could have been taking videos, and I would have YouTubes of my mom doing meetings and my dad's. but I don't. But I got it up here, and I got it in here. So without them and their work ethic and their tenacity, I would not be the network marketer I am today. The difference is I learned to listen to people in my upline that were doing things that I hadn't done. And it was just really simple for me. Hey, if you're making $50,000 a month, I'm going to shut up and listen. I don't care if you're 10. I don't care if you're 100. I don't care if you're male or female. I don't care if you're from, China. Doesn't matter to me. I was just a willing student. And I enjoyed the idea of not having control. Why? Because I grew up in a plant that I had to go to the chiropractor every week because I was carrying 50-pound and 50-pound cases of paper on each side from the warehouse back to press 12 or press 10 to get it going. Doing the forklift, loading truck. So I worked 18, 20-hour days. I was really excited when I found out I could get 12, 20 people front line and it would grow deeper than wider and I could get a residual check and I didn't have to work that hard anymore. So understand thy prospect, understand thy downline member, because if not, it'll drive you crazy. People could drive you crazy because they're not necessarily at the place that you're at. And so what we do, here's what Sharon and I do, and here's my offer for you guys today. Sharon and I have written a book called, let's see if I can get it out of the sunlight. If network marketing is a game, these are the rules. What is it? 127 pages, 7 chapters, 7 rules. The reason that we wrote this, and it's a husband-wife book, so you'll get, if you're female, you'll read a chapter and you'll see Sherry's recap of the chapter, and as a woman, you'll go, yeah, she's right. And as a guy, you'll go, okay, I can connect. So we wrote the book together because our downline's full of men and women. Grab the book. There'll be a link down below here. Matter of fact, I'll just put it in here right now so you guys can go get it. So I've got a special offer for you today for those that like our trainings and like what we do. And we're here to help everybody. It's not just our primary business. We're here to help everybody. We believe that the profession is the best profession out there, but we also believe it's one of the most misunderstood profession. And even in my own family in 1986, it was misunderstood. And that was really the purpose of today's training, is that sometimes pictures are worth 1,000 words, but sometimes you have to say a couple of thousand words to explain the picture and to give it more of a deeper and a more inner meaning. So when I look at that picture this morning, it choked me up, but also it reminded me of who I became today because of my mom and dad. So I'm very thankful. Now, if your parents aren't in network marketing and they don't believe in you, that's okay. Mine didn't either at the very beginning. What I did is I just worked my butt off. I got around people who knew what they were doing, and I went out and I started having some success. And then they would say, well, where'd you get that money? And I go, I've been working my butt off. Well, when can you work your butt off? You're at the plant all the time. And I said, when I go home, I'm doing conference calls in the closet at 10 a.m. so I don't wake anybody up. And I'm talking to people in pockets of time during the week. And I would show them my calendar. And they would go, so when you're eating pizza in your office for an hour lunch, you're making phone calls. I go, yeah, I'm mailing postcards. And I did it all away from our local business because I was told that you can't talk to any of our customers. If you do, you're out. They were just afraid of it. They were afraid network marketing was going to hurt the printing business. They didn't understand it. And the ones that you see in that picture, and I'll repost that picture down here today as well, but it's on my wall. La Patch was a weight loss patch that you would put on, and it had supposedly a transdermal effect, would keep your appetite down. The other one was Metrin, which was the skincare. So both of those, my mom in the beauty salon, somebody came in and exposed her to those things. I went to some Metrin meetings, and I would do meetings with my mom, and I was putting the Metrin. It was a 5-step process on women and men. I was as a 20-year-old. It was funny. It was hilarious because that's what you did. I wore it. Okay, just to say, look, and what I did, I put half of it on this side of my face for a week, and then, oh, man, guys, I've done everything. La Patch, we put it on. I was doing a meeting. We had a police officer come in, shut the meeting down because the company had been shut down by the FDA and also the FTC for not getting the transdermal ingredients approved. Big Pharma got after them. So, and all we were doing at the meetings at that time, we were passing around a little pink box. There was no product. So we did like a 60-day pre-launch, had a team of about 300 people, and a lot of those people were our printing customers. So my job was to go to every one of those printing customers, call them, apologize to them, and offer to print business cards free, which I did. And I did that on the weekend, and that's what Dad made me do. So understanding where I am today, when people say, what do? You know, 37 years of network marketing, you know, you live a great life. Man, it sure looks easy for you, Robert. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it, folks. I just had a really big reason why. And that why is that I love my parents, but I didn't want to end up where they were. Does that make sense? And I mean that in a very, very respectful way. So much so I was trying to get them out of it. I was trying to get them out of the situation they were in, but they couldn't make this to me work. So whatever your struggle is, I get it, all right? So I wanted to share that with you today. Grab the book. I think the book will be great. Now, when you do, what I'm going to do for you also as well, the book's $14.95, $5 shipping. It'll be autographed by Sherry and I. I'm going to throw in a video course called How We Got 8 Million Postcards Mailed for Free. It'll be a free, like an hour and a half, 2-hour webinar that we did. Some great training. One of the things that we teach in our book is don't call your family and friends, mail them. Mail them a letter first, and every month mail them a postcard. Kind of like you had a yogurt shop. You know, if you had a yogurt shop, you tell all your family and friends, hey, come down, buy yogurt. We got yogurt overhead. You wouldn't go to your family and friends and said, look, I spent $100 grand on this franchise. I just need 3 people to buy a franchise, and mine's free. Please buy a yogurt franchise. They're going, look, we don't want to be in the yogurt business. We'll come buy it from you. That's why customers are so important, and we teach that in the book as well. So anyway, I hope this has been insightful. I hope that it helps you understand different prospects in your organization, and maybe it'll help you with your family members and understanding them, because I know we had a very difficult time in our family, and all I decided to do was lead, get all the information I could and lead. And I did a pretty good job, and I think looking back on it, I did the best I could, and that's all you can do in this business. Love you guys. Thanks for all your help and all your friendships. And anything that Sherry and I can do for y'all, let us know. Thanks a lot and have a great day.